is Maxine, and her speech is titled The 3 Points. Welcome, Maxine.
Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. How are you doing this evening?
Great.
Great. Have you ever wanted to give a speech and you started to write it, but you just weren't ready to give it?
Yes.
Have you ever still wanted to give a speech, so you scrounged around to put something together at the last minute? The extreme people. Well, that's what happened to me. So I looked around my room, my place, for a while. And there, that's it. I decided it would be that. That's what I talk about. Now, this is something that's probably very familiar to you, and I'm sure you've heard about it. It could be for one-on-one, it could be for an audience, so it could be either way. It's something that you're gonna love. I'm sure you've heard of it. Ta-da! By Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How many people have read this book? Just about all of you. I read it several years ago. It smells pretty good. Now there were 3 points that really stood out in my mind that changed my life because I remembered them and I did my best to apply them every day. And hopefully these 3 points will stick in your minds as well. Now, the first point, what is it? What is the only thing that you ever really want to hear when you're talking with someone, usually one-on-one or even in an audience? What's the only thing you want to hear?
Your name.
Your name.
Yes.
Not me.
Your name. You don't want to hear, hey you, who? You, hey you. You don't want to hear that. Well, unless you're giving a speech, and you should say you. You don't want to say I, me. Do you now? Okay, I do. You want to talk about the other person's name because it's the sweetest sound to their voice one-on-one. Or when you're giving a speech and you want to say it in a nice way. Pat, you're doing a great job as a Toastmaster. Pat, you even look really special today. Tim? Where's Tim? Oh, there's Tim. This guy, Tim, has been nominated as Chicagoland's #1 public speaking coach. So if you want to learn how to talk, go see him right there, again, in the corner, Tim. The second point, how to win friends and influence people. After hearing your name, what is the second most important thing that you want to hear about? The second most important thing that you want to hear about is something that's interesting to you, of interest to you. And when you come here to Toastmasters, it's because you're all interested in public speaking. You're hoping you're going to learn something, a tip here or there, from giving a speech, watching, being an evaluator. When you're talking with someone one-on-one, you want to listen to what the other person is saying. You want to be interested in what they're saying. Even if you're not interested, you still want to act like you're interested and have them talk about themselves. And you know what? This is really easy for me because I hate talking about myself. In fact, I just don't know how I do it. Very private person. So it's real easy for me to talk to someone about them. And when you're here, listening, being an audience, well, I'm praying every week that I hear something that I'm going to learn about, and that's of interest to me. And 99.99% it is. Well, other than hearing your name, hearing something of interest to you that excites you, the third way to win friends and influence people, besides smiling, is sincerity. Sincerity. See, my issue is sincerity, because when I get up here, I'm already nervous. How many people get up here and are already nervous sometimes? Or you don't have to raise your hands, but so like you, I'm nervous. I'm trying to be calm through gestures, through voice when I remember. And then I'm also trying to remember what I'm talking about. And you know what? The most important thing is how I'm connecting with you, because I want to get my point across, and I want it to be sincere for the audience. So besides contact, eye contact, besides pacing, pausing, being genuine, interaction with the group, does anyone have an idea to how to have more sincerity so people can feel what the speaker is saying? And if you don't have any ideas right now, maybe you can tell me later or put it on the Yahoo groups. But I'm sure each and every one of you probably have something you want to work on. This is what I'm working on. So next meeting is an all-speech meeting. You could come, be an evaluator, be a speaker, work on what you want to improve on. I'm improving on talking calmly, talking voice, but more importantly, somehow connecting with you, and I just still don't feel connected enough. Be sure to pick up this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because it has got more than these 3 points of always use someone's name, talk about a topic of interest to them, and thirdly, be sincere. And buy the real smelly, feely book, not the radiation, kill yourselves, Kindle thing.